Karen, what's up? How are you?
I just happen to get paid to be doing what I love.
Exactly.
You know,
You're like, you don't know that I will be doing this for free, but you're paying me.
literally, I'm like, I would teach this for free, to be honest. But this is my job now.
Like,
being a child of immigrants, you tend to bottle up a lot of things. Like, I never liked yelling at my parents or talking back.
Yeah.
So what I tended to do was write. Like, I would go in my room, cry, and be like, this is how I feel, blah, 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 you know? And
It's just like a different culture and shit like
Yeah.
that. So the way they raise us is like, don't cry.
yeah, because I also, like, growing up, like, I was that one kid that would cry about everything.
Okay,
Like,
sensitive.
yeah, I was sensitive. And even, like, getting called sensitive back then, I was like, I'm not sensitive, you know? I'm strong, you know?
Okay.
I'm very strong on therapy. Like, I think everyone should get therapy.
Yeah,
I think this is, like, the first time in my life where I actually don't feel like I'm suffering from any of that.
Wow.
Yeah, and it took so long, you know, to finally get here. Gone to therapy. I'm going back only because I'm like, this feels a little too good, you know, like why I don't know, like maybe I gotta find something to
But
work
also-
on.
Welcome everyone again to the podcast of your soul. I hope you're having a great day, a great week, a great night. I don't know. I know it's been a little while. I'm blunt now. Yeah, you feel me? Feel different. Remember, like, subscribe, please. Okay. I know we haven't been that constant, but it's been like a little complicated with schedules and shit, with like guests and stuff like that, and life be lifing. So bear with us. Please like, subscribe if you want to support. And if you're watching this, you want to be like part of the podcast, just DM me so I can like have a questionnaire about all your life to see if like you're worth it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
Ay,
God.
relax. Ay. Just una bromita. Okay, in this time I have a very for me it's a very special guest. I know I've said this like a couple of times. Good. But for me it's a very special guest. I know her like a couple of years already. And I seen like her journey and shit like that. So I'm very, very, very happy to have her with all of you in the podcast. So Rojo, Karen, and Vanessa.
Hey, I like the clapping.
Right? It cheers you up. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Karen, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Excited to be here.
I'm so excited, bro, right now. You got no idea. I know it was like kind of hard to fit schedules
Yes.
because we're busy all the time.
Oh my God.
We're
I feel so
growing
bad.
up, so that
Yes.
means we're getting more busy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more busy or busier?
Busier.
Right?
Yeah, busier.
So we're getting busier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, English teacher, if you're watching back in Honduras.
Mm.
Okay, good. How's your day been?
It's been good. It's been good. It's hot outside.
It's nice, right?
I know. We were just talking about it.
We were just talking about it.
No, it was really nice. Summer's coming, so I feel myself blossoming again, melting away. So yeah.
You're melting away.
Yeah.
I was talking about that, but like, if you want to share that, what's your favorite season of the year?
My favorite, definitely the spring. Sometimes the summer. It's just too hot. Like, oh my God. In Honduras, you know, it's very, very. Can I curse?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do whatever you want
Okay,
here.
cool.
We don't
But-
even have followers yet. Okay, relax.
You better get it. You
No,
better get
yeah,
it.
relax. We're
Mhm.
good.
But yeah,
Or we
no.
can just like, I think there's a beep here. Give me a second. Oh, right here. Say a curse word.
I just mouthed it. Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, but you can do whatever you want. This is going for YouTube or whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can do whatever you want
Okay.
until I have like that message like, oh, like you're able to monetize, and then you're not able to monetize because you're cursing. There, I'm gonna be like, you cannot curse.
Yeah.
But for the moment, we're free. It's a free country. Okay, Karen. So, like, so to have a better context, right? For someone that doesn't really know you or like something like that, what's a good introduction for you, like who are you, and like I usually say who are you and what do you do for a living,
Mm-hmm.
but like just a general introduction of yourself.
Ah, that's a good. Who am I? So I'm Karen Vanessa. I'm from Jersey, born and raised. But my family's from Honduras. Shout out to Honduras.
But wait.
Hey, Honduras.
Vamos!
Catracha. So, I'm a artist. I mean, I consider myself an artist. I don't think I'm just a dancer. But yeah, I dance, I choreograph, I take photos, I write. I do a lot of different things. And I started dancing in Jersey, obviously born and raised, but I come from a team called RDT, Raps Dance Troupe. Been there for like 4 years, so I was in the community for a little while, and then after RDT, I directed RDT for like a year, I think. I left RDT, went to New York, started branching out there, joined another team called Outburst Dance Company, and yeah, then from there I just started like teaching at Bodega, which is a dance studio in Queens. Started teaching at the Hive, another dance studio in Jersey. So yeah, I'm an artist, and
Nice.
I just be here.
So I would like to like emphasize specifically because you say you consider yourself an artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you said like I'm not just a dancer.
Yeah.
So like I want to clarify that, right? Because I feel like dancers are also artists,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
what's an artist for you specifically?
Someone that is not afraid to just create and let it go. Like that's an artist to me. Like that could be someone who takes photos and like makes a photo account on Instagram and is like, "Hey, I'm a photographer and this is what I do." Or it could be someone who writes, like I'm a writer, this is how I feel, and releases it. Like they're not afraid to share their craft with the world or
Nice.
with their family, with their friends, whoever. Like they're just not afraid to be themselves.
Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
then did you always have like that artist soul whenever you were like little, or did it develop whenever you were growing up?
I think I always had it. And this is funny because I think the other day I was talking to my family about this because I feel like growing up, I was kind of always the odd one out.
Okay,
Because
like we had nigga that.
yeah,
How do you call that? Like
literally.
the dark sheep.
The black sheep, yeah.
Okay, the dark.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
The black
Okay.
sheep, yeah. Growing up, yeah, because my cousins, they were really into like sports and school and stuff. Like, and I was just
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm in school. I'm into school, I guess. I mean, I'm not into school, but I always liked the most weirdest things. I liked flowers and I liked laying in the grass and I just liked taking photos. My dad took a lot of photos growing up. Like he had
Okay.
like all different types of cameras. So I definitely got that photography side because of him. He doesn't consider himself a photographer, but I do because I'm like, you took a lot of photos. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So seeing my dad, he was also very much into music.
Okay.
So I think I just always had it in me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think growing up, like once I started going through like changes and like realizing, oh, like I'm becoming a woman, like I realized like, yeah, like I think I like arts. Like I'm not like my cousins. Like they're into sports and this and video games and I'm just like, no, like
They're
I
just
like
pedestrians.
yeah, no, I was just like I feel different and I think it's in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
nice. I usually start with this question because I really like this question, even though it's repetitive.
mhm.
What is something that you feel grateful for today?
Oh, grateful. I think the support. I mean, there's so many different things I could say, like roof over my head, having a car,
But specifically today, if it were just
Yeah.
like today.
I think the support from my family, my friends. Like
Okay.
I think I have such a good like backbone, like a good support system.
Just support system,
Yeah.
that's the word.
And especially like coming from, an immigrant family
Yeah.
or like your parents coming from a third world country, like they don't believe in the arts. They're, they're
Okay,
very.
eso no existe,
That
bro. That
does-
doesn't exist.
no.
You're like, get to work or study.
They're very much like you need a real career. Like
Yeah,
that's exactly what they'll
facts.
tell you. And it took a lot. It took a lot for my families to come around and be like, you know what, like we'll support
We accept
you.
it.
Yeah, but I think finally we've reached the point where I like sat them down like not too
Okay.
long ago, and I was like, this is
Okay.
what I'm doing. Like,
Oof.
yeah, and
How was that? Sorry for interruption. How was the conversation? Like your feelings at the moment?
it was scary, you know, like I don't really stand up to my parents like that, you know. I've always been
Okay.
to my P's and Q's. Like they're
Yeah.
like I've always I consider myself a good daughter.
Okay.
You know, I've always listened to them. I didn't really give them that much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the only trouble I gave them was being like, I love dance and I want to pursue something in dance. That doesn't mean I'm fully going in it
Yeah.
100%. Like I'm still in school and stuff. But yeah, in the moment it was very scary.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, like they took it really well. I think because they were like,
They
look,
saw it coming,
yeah,
or
I think they did, you know, because I'm always dancing, you know. My
yeah.
family follows me on Instagram. They see my dance stuff, you know, and
Yeah.
I think I showed them videos and I was like, this is how
Mm.
I move. And they're like, oh wait, like
This is actually
you
real. Okay,
like
I see you.
yeah. They're like, okay, yeah. But it was rough. I cried a lot. I cried a
Okay.
lot because I felt like, you know, standing up to your parents for the first time, like it feels like kind of like you're failing them, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
But they're like, you're not, like, we're proud of you regardless, you know? Like we're proud that you're making this choice and still
Mm-hmm.
continuing to do school.
Nice.
But it was nice.
And what happened in yourself that changed to be like, hey, I think I need to like actually have a conversation versus
mm,
before how you were like,
yeah, I want
what
to
changed in yourself?
I think because I started getting more opportunities to
Okay.
teach and to be in more projects. And also, I did like a gap campaign, and I was like, oh, like I'm not, obviously, I'm not like the shit right now. I'm not, but I feel
No,
like,
but you feel the difference between I'm just a dancer right now. Like doors are
yeah.
starting to open. People are starting
Mm-hmm.
to realize that I'm like I've been dancing for a while,
Yeah.
and they start to recognize my
Mm-hmm.
craft. I
Yeah.
feel like that's your point of view. It's not like you're
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah. No, yeah, I was like, wait, I'm getting noticed, I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
recognized, and I don't want to hide that from my family anymore. Like I don't want to be like, "Oh, I'm just going out to hang out," or like
I'm getting drugs.
yeah, no. Like they knew I wasn't wilding out. Like I don't party and
Oh
stuff. So
yeah.
they're like, "Okay, like you're going out a lot actually." And I'm like, "Yeah," cuz I would go to New York a lot.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to, cuz we have such a great relationship, I feel like, with my, like, as of now.
Yeah.
Growing up, obviously, it was like kind of wonky, but now that I'm older and like I understand them and they understand me a bit more, like
Okay.
I didn't want to feel like I was hiding something from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, can we just talk? And I want to share with you what's going on in my life.
Okay.
And yeah, it was
Nice.
nice.
Nice. Now that
Yeah.
we like talk about your family and how you like approach them,
Mm.
how would you feel like how would you feel your childhood was? Was it like a very good childhood? You feel like, it was good with ups and downs, and
Mm-hmm.
I would like to feel a different way towards my sister, my brother, my
Mm.
parents, my family,
Mm-hmm.
or was it rough? How would you describe your childhood?
My childhood, honestly, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I think it was just a lot of me trying to figure out what was going on, like, in my life, cuz I always felt different. Like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
always felt like the black sheep in my
Yeah.
family. And I was trying to understand why.
Mm-hmm.
But also in my family, my older brother, it's just me and my older brother. His name's Kevin. He's
Okay.
autistic.
Okay.
And so my childhood kind of was mostly him, like trying to figure out him. Like, why is
Okay.
he different? Like, why? Because I see like my friends in school, like they would come back and be like, hey, like I just played tag with my brother all night last night, you know, like doing
Yeah.
like sibling stuff. And I'm like,
Okay.
I didn't
You
do
don't
that.
have that. You
I was
don't
like,
have that.
why didn't I do that with my brother? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I spent most of my childhood, yeah, figuring myself out, trying to figure out my brother. But my parents, like, they did a lot of talking to me, you know, trying to break it down. Like, yeah, your brother's different, and it's not in a negative way. He's
No,
just
it's just
different, you
different.
know. And then I'll be like, why? Then why am I different? You know, I'm not autistic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like have anything um different about me. So yeah, it was nice, and also like being a child of immigrants, you know, obviously like you have some issues here and there, small ones, you know,
Some
but
big ones. And then
yeah,
cultural. I think it's
yeah,
more
culture.
cultural.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I didn't know about your brother,
Mm-hmm.
so I would like to like go a little bit deep into that,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel like I don't really personally I don't
Mm-hmm.
really have the opportunity to talk to people who have that kind of opportunity. So
Mm.
how would you describe, or yeah, how would you describe the experience of growing up with the autistic brother?
Mm. Honestly, he's 7 years older than me,
Okay.
and I think I found out that he was autistic and understanding that definition when I was like around like 8, like very young.
Okay, that's very
And
young.
as soon as I like understood it and I was like, oh, this is why he's different, like I kind of something in me switched from like little sister to like older sister,
Oh, okay.
you know? So
Yeah.
I grew up being the
The
older
older
sibling.
sister.
Yeah, like taking care of my brother, making sure he's okay, having like helping him with homework. Like it was a switch for real. And I think sometimes like I would get a bit upset, like truthfully speaking, being
Of
like,
course.
why am I having to
Doing
be,
this
you
or
know, like he should be the one being
yeah.
the older brother.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think not to be like hippie or anything, but I think, you know, God and the universe put him with me for a specific reason. Like
Okay.
he's like the one person in this entire world that I get very protective over, and I'm like, I will take care of you until I die.
Yeah.
Like he's my little brother. Like even though
Okay.
he's older, like mentally I think he's my little brother.
Okay, good. And
Mhm.
like for someone that is not really related to the term, right?
Mhm.
What will you like describe or define an autistic person, so people can actually be like, oh, this is someone that is autistic.
Yeah. I mean, autism is someone who just has special needs. They it depends like where you are on the spectrum. There's a whole spectrum to it, you
Okay.
know, like but my brother, he's pretty on the spectrum, you know. He can, you know, he can do his regular things. He can shower, he
Okay.
can eat, he can take care of himself. But when it
Okay.
comes to like social settings, like
Mm-hmm.
he loud noises bother him. They make him panic. He doesn't really like talking to people. He's very much to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I find really cool and really interesting about autistic people is that they have this one niche about them. Like, it's like they have one thing that they just obsess over, and they're like
Okay.
geniuses when it comes to that.
What
Like,
is his passion?
so his, I guess, passion or like niche is
Yeah.
GPS. Like
Okay.
GPS, like it's the
Okay.
most weirdest thing, but like it's just so cool. Like so he will I don't think there's one day I've never seen him like study some sort of map. Like when growing up, he would like we would have like pamphlets of maps of
Okay.
like Asia or like Africa or United States. Like we would have maps of all these places, and
Okay.
he would just study them, like study the roads and like study like the cities and like just trying to navigate, like learning different paths. Yes, he's very into that.
Picky.
Yes. And like now he has an iPad and he has Google Maps. Like the only app on that iPad, he just has Google Maps and he just like researches like or picks like a random spot and just like zooms in and studies it. And I'll never forget that one time we went to Honduras and we were up in the mountains somewhere and there's no internet up there, you know, like there's
Yeah.
no they don't be using phones up there. And we're lost. Like we didn't know where to go.
You're
Like
like, fuck.
we're literally like, where do we go? Like my uncle's whipping up the map. He's like, I don't know where we're at. And Kevin's like, oh, just turn right. And then we're like, what? And
No
then
way.
he's like, yeah, just turn right. And then we're like, okay. So we start following him because we knew that he studies
Yeah.
maps, you know? So we're like, okay. And he got us out. Like he got us made, like, I don't know where we were going, but I know we were not lost at a point because of Kevin. And I was like, that's
That's
when I realized I was
crazy.
like, oh, Kevin's dope.
You're like, now he's dumb. I didn't die.
I'm like, yeah, like, and whenever like I give him a ride somewhere now, like I always put
Mhm.
my GPS on. He's like, you don't need that. And I'm like, you're right, I don't. Tell me where to go. Like, but yeah, I think going back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
autism, just someone with special needs.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
even though like there's a lot of positive things, right? Because I think it makes you grow up or be more mature in whenever you're like younger, right? Compared to like other people and whatever. But also it has its downsides, right? Meaning in the daily basis, like you gotta be more careful. You always have to be paying attention and stuff like that. What's your experience in that type of sense where you always like alert 24/7? Did your parents give you like this type of responsibility so you can like grow up and feel like you're a mother or something like that? Or how was your experience with that?
I mean, I think my parents didn't like force me to like be the older sibling.
Yeah.
I think we all just wanted to be there for Kevin. So I don't feel like I was forced, you know, for anything like that. But downsides, I mean, honestly, I don't think I have any, to be honest.
Nice.
I'm very grateful for having him in my life because I, like you said, like it made me mature. It made me learn like how to be the bigger person, how to care for someone. And yeah, like I don't have anything like that towards my brother. It's my brother. It's like family.
No, it's not towards him. It's just like
Yeah.
the situation, right? Because I guess like whenever you have like someone with special needs or someone sick in your house or something like that, right? Of course you love them, but it's like something they require your attention like 24/7.
Yeah.
So even though you love them, you're like, I wish like it could be like a little different. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
But nice. I'm like, but nice. Okay. What others hobbies do you have that are not like dancing or something related to work?
I mean, like I said, I take photos. It's been a while since I took photos.
Okay.
I have a little like photo account on Instagram. But I take photos, film photos specifically. It's not like digital photos. Like
Okay.
it's like film, you get it developed.
So what's the difference for someone that doesn't know?
For film, it's like super old school. Like it's like a little roll and you put it inside the camera.
Okay.
You take a picture and then you take out that roll once it's done. You go to a special place, get it developed.
Okay.
Like you don't have it right then and there. You don't know how it looks like. You know, we're digital. Like you take a picture,
And right away,
it's
you're
right away you see it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I like it because it's like you don't get to see what it looks like. You know, it's kind of like ooh,
The
like,
pauses.
Yeah, the pauses and. Yeah, but I take photos. I do some writing. I did a project like I think like 2 years ago. I released it, just like writing like poems and like how I felt, like journal entries. But I took it down because I felt like it was too much of me to share.
Very like personal.
Yeah, like I realized to look back, I was like, ooh, I think I don't want people to see this from me yet. You know, just give it a little while. So I haven't written in a while, but.
Okay. And what made you like do the project from the beginning to end?
I think it's just always it's something I always dreamed of doing as a child.
Okay.
Because with like I said, like growing up, caring for my brother, you know, being a child of immigrants, you tend to bottle up a lot of things. Like you can't I never liked yelling at my parents or talking back. So what I tended to do was write. Like I would go in my room, cry, and be like, "This is how I feel," blah blah blah, you know. And then like growing,
and they're like, "The notebook, Karen, where is this?"
Yeah, no, literally one time they caught me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I took a little break after that because I was like, "They're my ops." They literally read how I felt. But yeah, no, I think growing
That's crazy.
it is crazy. It's kind of traumatic to be honest, but it's really
like,
fun.
It's my privacy.
No, literally, like, but they don't
understand
give a fuck.
it.
No, they're like, nah, privacy, nah. Like,
Yo, my mom used to like even like see the trash of my room to see like if I was doing something wrong or something, and I'm like,
yep.
Mom, is the trash.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Like, they
Like,
don't play.
They don't be playing.
They don't
bro.
play. And in the moment you don't like understand it. You're like, why? But then you get older, you're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, I with my parents I realized I understand the reasons, but I don't share the ways they do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah, Mom, but I think I will understand with a conversation instead of like la chancla.
The chancla don't play either.
Hell no. But it's just a different culture. It's like what people they don't realize. And like it's good and it's bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the way we were raised.
Yeah, no. I like tend to look at my parents. It's kind of bad to say, but I look at them, I'm like, you're a child.
Facts.
Like you,
Me
like,
too.
and I feel bad sometimes. Like I feel like I had
Yeah.
this urge to just be like, and I'll take care of you because you're a child, and
Yeah.
I'll understand you because you're a child. But realistically, like they grew up in very shitty times. Like their parents treated them even worse than how
Yeah,
they
like
treated us.
they're like, you don't understand. You're in heaven with me.
Yes, yeah, and they say that, and then I believe it. I do.
I know.
I'm like,
It's a
I
fact.
know, but like also I feel bad because I'm like I feel like you genuinely didn't grow up. Like, and they stick with those resentments and like the anger.
You know, the thing is, like, the way I see it, I moved here to this country. Actually, is today is my 5th anniversary here.
Oh wow!
So yeah, 5 years already.
Hey.
But you know, I didn't know like about anxiety and shit like that. I mean, I knew about it, but it didn't happen to me before. But until I got here. So my conclusion was, you know, like whenever you're in a third world country, you're like really focused on surviving.
Yeah.
And not meaning just surviving financially, which also, but you don't know the tension of like you're walking on the street and you gotta like watch back if someone is following you, if you're gonna get assaulted, if someone's gonna borrow, it's gonna steal your like phone, your car. So you're like in a constant like like alert mode, right? So you don't really have time to be like, what's going on with my life? Like, it's like, yo, I can't barely make it through the end of the month. I have like 5 kids and a wife that I don't want to be with.
Oh my God.
And imagine like there's a lot of people like that. And then whenever you get here, your lifestyle gets a little bit better and it gives you more time to think of, you know, like, oh, like maybe I'm like not rich, but I can afford my things. I know I can pay rent. I know I can pay my food. And I know I can buy like my, you know, like Nike shoes and shit like that. So I'm gonna be fine. So let me sit and think what I want to do with my life. And that's when the existential crisis come in play, because your issue is not longer I need to survive. It's like, oh, where am I going? Like, how is this affecting me? Or things like that. So for me, that was like my conclusion of the difference between our parents and us, right? Like for me, I'm a very conscious person, and I'm like, oh, like if I do this, this is gonna happen, blah, 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 right? And my parents is like, no, why you worry about that? I'm like,
because we have to.
I'm like, what are you talking, Dad? Like, I'm like, yo, my dad bought his first house, not credit, like he bought like cash when he was like 23.
Yeah,
and I'm like, Dad, like, actually he came like in December, and I had this conversation. I was like, yo, Dad, like what's up? Like, how you did it? I'm like curious. I'm like,
put me on.
Hey, bro, I'm 24. Like, the fuck?
I want to buy a house.
And he goes, no, like if you want something, you gotta go through it. And like, you know, I talked to this person and this person and this person that went to the bank and blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. But they don't really like think ahead that much, and they're like, oh, then I had like a kid, and then I had another kid, and you know, and I was he didn't say that, of course, but like it's like basically you're trapped. You're like, I gotta be working like for all of my life, you know, to like make a living for them and whatever. So it's just like a different culture and shit like that, which is good, but it also the way they raise us is like, don't cry.
Yeah. You're like, I could
suck
cry.
it up.
Yeah. I've had so many like conversations with my parents, like, because I also like growing up, like I was that one kid that would cry about everything.
Okay.
Like,
sensitive.
Yeah, I was sensitive. And even like getting called sensitive back then, I was like, I'm not sensitive, you know, I'm strong, you know. But I think because my other cousins, they were just so well at like compressing like that sadness. Like they wouldn't cry, but I would cry, you know. But I wouldn't cry over like small things like, oh, my food fell, I'm gonna cry. Like I would cry when I get hurt, or like I get pushed, or like my mom yells at me, or my aunt yells at me, you know. And like I would always get so sick, like, oh, stop crying. I'm like, I can cry. And then growing up, like I would tell them, like I had so many conversations like, Mom, like, you know, it's okay to cry. Like it's actually a release.
And they're like,
And they're like, oh no, like that just shows that you're weak. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
but
facts.
do I always have to be strong? Like I can be weak, I could be strong, I could be strong for like an entire week, I could be weak for an entire week. Like I can do both, like, and it's fine, you know. But yeah, no, they're very like our parents, different country, like you said, different culture. But I applaud them, you know, because like coming here, for me, like they came here not knowing like anything English. Like to this day, my parents still don't know English. I don't know how.
No, come on, bro.
Like I'm like, mom, like you not learn English.
Come on, mommy.
But like she knows a little something, you know.
Well, yeah, after like I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just different.
Yeah, no.
And also like it's good to highlight that it's not the same coming today, which Latin community is more accepted than like 30 years ago, where like if you like were speaking Spanish, there were like people looking bad at you and shit like that. So it's a different times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like what happened in yourself, or when was the time where you started to realize, oh, this is not good? Like talking about how you were raised and like, oh, you don't have to cry and stuff like that. When is the moment like you start realizing that like, hey, like this is not good? You went to therapy, you find it by yourself. How was that process?
I think literally when I went to therapy.
Oh, you went to therapy?
Yeah, I went to therapy in middle school.
Okay.
I'm very strong on therapy. Like I think everyone should get therapy.
Yeah, facts.
Literally, it helped me out so much.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you grow up and you look at your parents, you're like, they're perfect. Like, you know, they teach you like things.
The ways.
Yeah.
Like,
so
oh
you're
God,
like, there's no other way because this is exactly what my parents are teaching me, you know? So if they're telling me don't cry, like even though I'm sad, I'm not going to cry, you know, because they told me not to cry. But yeah, I remember in middle school, I was feeling very down. Like I was getting bullied in middle school.
Okay.
Whatever. And so I remember telling my mom, like, I'm really sad and I need help. And my mom, like, you know, they don't believe in therapy. They're just like, oh, move on. Like, dust off, you move on. But then my mom saw me and she was like
very.
Yeah, she was like, like I was sleeping in more, like I wasn't eating as much. Like she saw those symptoms.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I didn't want to go to school. Like every morning I was like, I don't want to go on the bus. Like kids are brutal. Like, oh my God. But
yeah.
They're brutal. Right. Oh my God. But yeah, I would go to therapy and like I would tell them like how my mom would talk to me or how my dad would talk to me or like my cousins and in school. And she was just kind of like, you know, like that's not okay. You know, you could do this or they could be doing this, you know? And that's when I was like, oh, like
it makes sense.
I can actually like step aside from what my parents are telling me and have my own beliefs. And even look at them and be like, no, you're wrong. You know, not every parent is right.
Exactly.
And then from there, like obviously thankful for therapy, but that's when I started, you know, coming to my own conclusions and looking at them being like, you're my parent, yes, but you're also a human being with trauma, with
that you haven't worked with.
That you have not worked with at all, you know? So that's when I realized, pretty young.
Will you say like therapy changed your life?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I just had a call today, be like, hey, can I come back to therapy? Nothing's wrong in my life. But it's just like
it's prevention. Like literally I say it all the time. Like even if you think you don't need it, you actually do.
You need it.
Even
yes.
it's like you're not supposed to go to the doctor only when you're sick, but also you gotta check yourself and be like, hey, are my levels good and everything, blah blah blah. Because like you can literally prevent something really bad happening to yourself just by talking your shit.
Yeah, no.
Because it's like a free place to be like, I can say whatever I want.
Whatever. And they don't have any bias, you know. They're not your friend, you know. But like they'll tell you what it is straight up without hurting your feelings.
Okay.
But yeah, therapy has changed my life. It helped me a lot with my parents, like navigating them. Especially my mom. Like me and my dad, we have a great relationship. I don't think there's any like growing up, there's not any like weird things between us. Like he
Going
was cool.
on.
He was a cool parent. You know, he had my back all the time. But it was my mom that
She was like tough with you.
yes, we were always bumping heads. And yeah, like I love her, obviously.
Of course.
She's my mom, but I think there's some times that I was like, I can't understand you and you can't understand me, and it's so frustrating. So I'm gonna go to therapy so I can understand you better
Yeah.
and how to talk to you, you know?
Yeah, like a little kid,
Mhm.
basically.
And my therapist, she helped me out a lot, you know, like with little hacks and stuff.
Yeah. Like you gotta teach them how to treat you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, for me, that's with all the people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta treat people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you don't set boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
like they just cross.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you're like the good person that's always helping, they're gonna call you at 2 a.m. and be like, hey, can you help me with this? You're like, yo, it's like 2 a.m. Like I've been helping you like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no.
Can you
It's
just
like
stop?
it's a beautiful thing to have empathy for others, you know,
Yeah,
and
of
to understand
course.
them.
But
But
like,
then sometimes you have to be like, oh, I understand you, but like I gotta put my foot down, you know, like
I go first also.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you say you have like this crashes with your mom because you're like the same. You have same personalities.
I think it's weird because I feel like we're different personalities. She's very strong, she's the most, I mean, every child can say this about their mom, you know, she's the most strongest woman ever I've ever met, but genuinely, like, I've never met anyone like my mom.
Okay.
Very complex, like very strong, very genuine, very sweet, you know, like she's hot and cold.
Okay.
You know, she could be the meanest person you'll
And
ever
then she
meet,
can
and
be
she'd be
like-
the most tender, loving person you ever meet, you know? But I think we're very different, but I think there's some times when I catch myself, I'm like, oh shit, like this reminds me. Like I'm acting like my mom right now. I need to cool down. Like especially in relationships.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna tone it back down.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be like my mom in
Okay.
this aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's the most common thing, you know, daughter,
I mean, it's
mom.
human relationships.
Yeah,
Like it's not always gonna be everything is flowers and positivity and
yeah,
you know, it's like actually having a relationship. Like some days it's like this motherfucker. But sometimes like this motherfucker.
yeah,
Right?
no, yeah.
So it's like hot and cold. It's not always flat because I think it will be like kind of boring. You know, like if it all be like flat all the time. Good.
Yeah.
And okay, so moving on a little bit. Yeah. So we said you did this project, right? You started the writing project.
Oh my god, yes, we
right?
derailed so
Yeah, there you
bad.
go.
Oh my god.
That's
forgot
why I
about that.
love it. It's just a conversation.
Yeah,
you know? So you started the project, right? It was for yourself at the
Yeah.
beginning. It was for yourself, and then you started to keep track of it. And then why? Like, when was the time that you were like, I think like this can go out, so people can know me better. What was
Yeah.
that time?
That time, I think it was like 2 years ago, like I said. Yeah, I looked back at it and I was like, this is good. Like, this feels like me. Like, this doesn't feel like I'm trying to be anyone else. So I think I can share this with people. And I did. But then I think like a year later, I was like,
Oh, so it was for a whole year?
yeah, it was out there. It was out there. But then I realized I was like, there's some times that I'm very much for like, be yourself and like, you know, yeah, just be yourself. But I think there's sometimes that you have to like kind of hold back some parts for yourself just to keep for yourself. You know,
Okay.
not everyone has to know every little,
Everything.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know. And there were some things that were like very deep, you know,
Okay.
like I was talking about, you know, my childhood again and like relationships I was in. And I was like, these people are not in my life anymore. So why should I, you know, have that out? You know,
Okay.
like I don't want them thinking that I'm still like thinking
You're
of
like
them.
not
yeah,
moving on and
I'm
stuff like
moved
that.
on. So it's like I think this was a different time in my life and I'm glad that I shared it, but I'm not in that time anymore. So I'll
Okay.
take it back.
Okay.
You know?
Nice. And like you talked about relationships, right? So I guess you had relationships in the past, right? How did like the way you were raised or the way you carry yourself affected in a good way or bad way your relationships?
I think, like I was saying, it wasn't much of my childhood that kind of shaped me in relationships. I think it was the relationship with my mom and
Okay.
watching my mom and how she loved my dad and how my dad loved my mom. But I think the first relationship I ever had, like in high school, like we dated for almost 2 years, my first boyfriend ever, my first love, whatever. And I think in the beginning, because growing up, my dad wasn't very affectionate. Like he's very, not even with words, you know, he wouldn't even, I would hug him, he wouldn't hug me back, but I knew he loved me, you know?
I mean, yeah, but it's just, he doesn't show it like that.
And same thing with Kevin. Kevin didn't like affection. Kevin doesn't like being touched. So growing up, the only time I had been touched or like loved, affection.
You felt physically.
Yes, it was my mom, with my mom. Because my mom's very affectionate, you know? And so in my first relationship, I think I stuck more with my dad and Kevin. I was like, I don't like being touched and like hugs, ew. Like I wasn't the best girlfriend, you know? And then once that ended, I moved on, got into another relationship. That one, I think that's when I saw my parents, well, my dad loosen up more. He was hugging me more. I think because I wasn't home as much. So he would miss me. So he would hug me and text me and send me little like, hey, have a great day, you know, more affection.
Yes.
Same thing with Kevin. He liked being hugged by my mom more. Like they just both started loosening up and seeing
It's
that.
like parallel.
Yeah, no, I was like, what the heck? So I was like,
something is happening here.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And it started happening with me too. Like I was very affectionate. I was like, you know, hold my hand, like let me hug you and stuff. Like, but with my mom, like she was always affectionate throughout, you know, ever since.
Yeah.
Constant. So whenever I was in that affectionate side, like I was very tender, very like warm, you know.
Started to change, be more like approachable.
Yes, more like, okay, like you can't hold my hand in public, or like, yeah, like you could put your arm around me in public, you know, like but yeah, I think that's how that shaped me. Yeah.
So what would be an ideal day for you? Like even from whenever you wake up until you like go to sleep.
Ideal.
Yeah, that's the perfect day.
The perfect day
for Cam, Vanessa.
Oh my God. Honestly, just waking up whenever I want. There's no alarm. And maybe just taking a dance class. Like no work, no school. Just literally go take a dance class, come back, eat, watch some TV, and then that's it. That's my ideal day. Yeah, no, I'm not crazy on like, oh, I would want to go to like an island, or actually I like to swim. I like to swim a lot. Yeah. So maybe go to a pool if it's a summer day. You know, chill by the pool.
So it's a summer day.
Yeah, definitely a summer day. Oh my God. Any other day boring. But but yeah.
Okay. You mentioned you do like photography and stuff like that, because also the background of your dad or whatever, right? But how other than that, how you started to be more interested in photography, and also like, did you take a course? Only like you saw like information in YouTube? How did you approach it?
Well, actually, yeah. In high school, I did take a photography class.
Okay.
I did like photography 1, 2, and 3, 4, because there's 4 years in high school. I forgot.
You're like
4. Yeah. But yeah, I took photography class. And honestly, it didn't really help, to be honest. Like it was just like the most like cliche things, like, oh, how to turn on a camera.
Oh my God.
And then like the lighting, but. Other than that, I think I just took a lot of inspo from my dad. And also, I mean, on Instagram, I would see a lot of photographers. And I'm like, I like how they shot this, you know, and kind of try and copy that. I'm not like the best photographer. I wouldn't claim myself to be a photographer.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, that's what you said, like a hobby.
Yeah,
or something
I
like
just
that.
take photos sometimes. Yeah. And yeah, like, I don't. It's not like the biggest like hobby for me.
But you are aware, like you're aware of like using like ISO and aperture and shit like that.
Yeah. I learned that in high school. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because right now, like, guys, we just have a new camera. Okay.
New camera.
So I've been like trying to like you know, get my shit together and be like, oh, okay, this and that, and there's a lot of shit, bro. I'm like, right. So right now, like the camera's out in auto mode.
Hey, I trust the Otto.
No, it's good. Yeah, but meaning like you use it like in manual mode and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use digital cameras.
Yeah, you told me,
Yeah, I
right?
take
Stupid
more. I
ass.
take more film photos.
Okay, are
Yeah.
they like harder to use than digital camera in your perspective?
No. I
Okay.
literally just pop the roll in
En
and
placada.
then that's it. Like if the photos come out bad, they come out bad. But
What is the process that I like?
Yeah, no, it's the process that I love. I don't know. Like I'm just a girl. Like,
You're like, shit is blurry, but I love the process.
no, yeah. And like sometimes like I love when because like with film like they have some sort of grain to it, like it's not like
Yeah.
100 HD.
Fully,
Yeah, no, I don't know what
Gives
it
you that
is
feel.
about me. I don't like HD things.
Okay.
Especially like dance videos. Like I like me a little grain. I love me a little because it's like, oh, why do you want to see me sweat like in up close? Like my hair is wet. Like I'm maybe the most grossest. Like why HD that?
Yeah, just put a little of.
Yeah, like I'm like a little green up in there. But I think with film photos, like they had that green and sometimes they're blurry. It's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Like that silhouette.
And also it gives you like how you say it? How is that word? Nostalgia. Is
or
that
like aesthetic.
no nostalgia? Like
Yeah, nostalgic.
oh yeah, it gives
Yeah.
you like cuz it's like times from
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like damn.
Yeah.
Always like people always have this feeling of that times were better before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Yeah. No, yeah. Back then, like things were cheaper.
Facts. Yo, gas is expensive this week.
Oh my
Like
god.
$4.
Oh my god. Times are really expensive right now. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good times to be.
Yeah, I mean there was the good and the bad from the past,
I mean,
but,
yeah, but we always be complaining.
yeah.
In the future, we're gonna be like, damn, life 3 years ago was so cheap. Like life before the pandemic. I was like, yo, things were so much better before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now everything's so expensive. Even rent. I'm like, yo. But we're not gonna complain about that. Okay, so getting into a little bit of I can call it like work stuff or label stuff, dance wise.
Okay.
Right? You said you always like been approaching art and whatever. When was it like the first time you started dancing? Like the first time it can be like a YouTube video, like a music video. When was the first time?
Honestly, it was in my kitchen. I don't know how old I was. I was really young. But basically my mom, so backstory, so I would go to school in the morning, obviously. My mom would drop me off. She would pick me up. And once I get back home around like 3 or 4 p.m., my dad would come back from work. So he was working all morning.
Okay.
And then my mom would go to work. So they would switch. You know?
Change of shift.
Yeah, literally change of shifts. So my mom would get me in the mornings and then my dad would get me in the afternoons. And my mom wasn't really big on music. Like she didn't really like loud music either.
Low hit song.
Yeah, no, she I don't know. The only time she liked music
It's a group of Honduras. Casabe.
Yeah, no, literally. But the only time she fucked with that was when she was cleaning, you know?
Yeah, it's that time.
Yeah, Saturday mornings, busting the door, let's go. Levántase, let's go. Like, cleaning time. But, yeah, no. I'm like, Mom, it's Saturday. It's Sunday, Mom, please. Like,
can you just stop, please?
Yeah, no, literally. But,
okay.
Yeah, so she wasn't a big fan of music like that, unless it was cleaning. But my dad loved music, like I said. He actually has like a speaker collection. Like my dad be collecting the most random speakers. I'm not even joking. Like he has, there's a Corona Light speaker.
Okay.
Like a bottle, and it's a speaker. I don't know. That man, and he switches every day. Like every time he comes back from work, he switches the speakers that he's using. So yesterday, there's like a little owl one that he has.
Okay.
It's loud as fuck, and I don't understand how something like so small can be so loud.
Okay.
But whatever, side note, I'm like, but yeah, so she would leave to work, and it was kind of like dance parties. Like after I would get like my homework done, obviously, and I'm eating, my dad would blast Michael Jackson. Like I remember a lot. He would blast Michael Jackson, and we would watch the music videos. This is when YouTube just like came out, and they just put like Michael Jackson the music videos there. Yeah. And
repeat. They were on repeat.
Yeah, no, and he played it, and I was just dancing, and I love dancing with my dad. We would dance in the kitchen, and he would like watch the music video, and he was like, "Yo, like try to hit that, like try to do that moonwalk." And I was like, "Me?" I was like, "I don't know how to do that moonwalk," so I tried it, and then I was like, "Yo, I'm not getting it, but I'm gonna get it."
Okay.
Like I was like practicing every day to hit that moonwalk, so I could show my dad, like, "Yo, I got the moonwalk."
I got it.
And eventually I got it, and he was like, "Oh my god!" So he was so impressed. He was like, "Yo, like try to dance like Michael Jackson." So I would dance. Like that's the first memory I have, like trying to be Michael Jackson to impress my dad, or to be like, "Dad, like look, look, literally, like remember when you told me to do this? Like I could do it now." Like obviously I don't think it was good. Like
I mean,
it was. I was like, I don't know how old.
we don't want to be technical here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, and then after that, like, was the things that follows how you started, like, okay, you know, I'm gonna dance more. Where you get your inspo from?
Yeah. So after the Michael Jackson little tour I went to, middle school came around, and Jersey Club. I'm from Jersey, so Jersey Club's a really big thing here in Jersey. And in recess, like some girls would bring like speakers. We would sneak them in and like just put some DJ Lil Man, and we would just dance. And that's when I was like, oh, like so technically, like yes, Michael Jackson, but I really started dancing like with Jersey Club. Yeah.
Oh,
just like
okay,
doing the little
interesting.
dances and like battling. Like I had
Oh, shit, you battle.
I was not good.
Karen battling? What?
Literally, I'm not literally like I don't
Hey, yo.
like I don't pride myself. I mean, I'm pride myself that I'm from Jersey and Jersey Club, but I'm not a Jersey Club dancer. Okay, I just did it for fun in middle school.
I mean, yeah.
And then from there, I was like, I like dance. This is fun. And then high school, I did my dance program in high school. And then
So you did like a dance program?
Yeah, like they had like classes in my high school.
Okay.
Like an elective, you know, like art class.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I picked mine to be dance. Because I was like, I like dance and I want to see,
And
you
they
know.
teach you like modern dance and stuff like that, or
Sometimes, yeah. Like it wasn't like anything serious. Like I don't remember any. They would try and teaching us ballet and stuff, but I don't remember any. Like
learning
I didn't.
anything?
Yeah, no. I was like, okay, like I point my toe. Like I didn't
Great.
own like ballet shoes or anything. Or tights.
Okay. So
yeah.
it's not.
No, I didn't do that. But it was very light. And then from high school, I was like, I don't want to stop here. Like I don't want to do this. So I had a friend in high school, and you know the Hive, the dance studio.
Yeah.
So they were actually in Elizabeth. I'm from Elizabeth.
Okay.
And my friend, she was like, yeah, like I found this dance studio in Elizabeth, and it's not that far from, you know, our high school. I take classes after school there. And I'm like, oh my God, like I want to, you know, try. I went there twice, got my ass beat. Like I was not good. Like, but I was like so excited. 'Cause I was like,
to be part of.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm learning dance. This is hard as fuck. I'm not eating. There's videos of me like not doing well at all. But I'm doing it with a smile on my face because I'm like, this is so fun.
Yeah.
And I followed them on Instagram. And then that's when they posted something like RDT's having auditions like at the Hive, like come through. And I saw the word audition. I was like, bet. Like I didn't do any research on RDT.
I don't know.
I was like, I don't know
go.
who, I don't know how, but I'm gonna be at the audition.
Okay, bet.
And so I look at the date. I had work that day, so I was like, fuck. So I literally emailed them. I'm like, hey, like I would love to audition, but I can't. I have work. Is there any other day, or can I send you a video? And they were like, we actually have makeup auditions the next day at Rutgers. And I'm like, oh shit, like who the fuck is taking me to Rutgers? Because I don't drive. Like,
Elizabeth to Rutgers.
Yeah.
Shit. How old were you by the time?
I was 17.
Okay.
I was 17. I think I had my license. I just didn't have a car.
Just a little thingy.
Yeah, and my mom was not gonna let me drive, you know, by myself. I don't even think I was allowed to yet, you know, or maybe I was. I don't remember, but I just knew I didn't have a car. So I remember begging my dad. I was like, please take me to this audition. Like, please.
And he was a cool dad, so.
Yeah, he was like, fine. You know?
You're like, okay.
And my mom and my dad were like, fine, we'll do it. But they didn't support it, you know. They were
we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Just not let me home.
Yeah, no. She was like, whatever. Get this girl away from us.
Yeah, she's like, finally.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some time together.
No, yeah. And now they do, and they're like, come back.
Yeah,
and I'm
thanks.
like, well, There you go.
You should never take me to that audition, Dad.
You started this, literally. But
Okay.
yeah, no, he was literally in the corner, like, Lucy
Watching and
Stone.
everything.
It was
Yeah.
just me. Like, there was no one else
You're
auditioning.
booking.
It was me and just the directors. So the directors at the time were Sam, Connor, and Hannah.
Okay. Sam
And-
Habby.
Yeah.
And then
Connor Grant.
Okay.
And then Hannah. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm not even gonna try.
Hannah, like our Hannah?
Yeah. Hannah G.
I don't know her last name.
Yeah, but
Oh damn, I don't know her last name.
I know her last name. I just don't want to mispronounce it. So I'm not even gonna try.
Wait, I'm like, try.
What?
It's just kidding, Hannah. Relax. Okay, good. And then you started. You went to the audition. Did you made it?
Yeah, I had so much fun. It was just me. My dad was in the corner on his phone. My cousin was actually there, but she wasn't auditioning. She just went to like go see. She was recording me, and yeah, I made it in. And then they hit me with, because I was still a senior in high school. Like
Okay.
I wasn't in college yet. I think this was around January, so I still had a couple months to graduate. Because high school, I think they graduate in June or something.
Okay.
And they hit me and they're like, yeah, like auditions are not auditions. Rehearsals are 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And I'm in high school. And I'm like, ooh, okay. So I remember begging my parents, and I was picking up more shifts because at the time I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Okay.
And I would pick up more shifts to
So you
pay the
can-
Ubers to go back home.
Damn.
Because
that was too late.
Yeah, it was
for
too,
them.
Yeah, my dad was like, I'll take you there, but I'm not picking you up. And I'm like, because yeah, they didn't care. They were like, they didn't want me doing this dance stuff, you know. So
You're
they're
like, I'm gonna tell her I'm not gonna pick her up so she can
Yeah.
just cut it up.
so she can, exactly. And they even admitted that to me. They were like, we just wanted you to cut it, you know. We weren't like, and I'm like, and I was still going. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll find another way. And that's
Yeah.
when they were kind of picking up, like, oh, I think she might be a little serious about this, you know. But yeah, no. So I would pick up extra shifts. Sometimes I would ask people to drive me back home. Like, shout out to Sam. Like, to this day, I'm
Aw.
always so grateful to that man, because I remember, I don't know if he asked me or he was like, hey, I can give you rides, or if I straight up just went up to him. I was like, hey, can you give me a ride? But
Yo.
he would sometimes, and he lived in Edison, you know, he was right there.
So he was like basically just
going
like,
out of the way. Yeah.
Wow, very going out of the way.
Going out of the way, paying tolls. Like, he would take me back home, make sure I was fine. Yeah.
Wow.
And same thing with Vince. Vince would
Vince.
sometimes, yeah. And
Wow.
I loved RDT though. I was so excited. I was like, I'm
Yo,
not giving this up.
That's
Like,
crazy.
and I would get back home really late, you know, like 1 a.m. Like, and I had homework, you know, and next day I had to wake up at 6 because school started at 7:15. That should be illegal. Why the fuck are we starting school at 7:15? But anyway, so I'd wake up early, you know, doing I was so tired always Wednesdays and Fridays.
Wow.
But I was like, I don't care. Like, I love dance, and
Yeah.
I loved RDT so much. And yeah, and then I got into college, went to Montclair.
Oh yeah, you were in Montclair. I remember.
Same thing with the rides. Always having trouble with the rides. I was gonna take the train there, but Vince actually was studying at Montclair.
Okay.
And he was like, I have class like Tuesdays and Thursdays at Montclair, and I go to rehearsal after. Like, I can just take you. Yeah.
You're like, thanks, Lord.
Literally. And he would take me and take me back to my dorm because I was dorming there. And yeah, and then eventually finally got a car. And I'm like, okay, we're
after all
here.
the shifts.
Yeah. But yeah, I did RDT college, and I think literally a year ago, that's when I left. And I was like,
how many years were you in RDT?
4.
4 years.
4, yeah.
You didn't graduate and everything.
Yeah, I graduated. I was like, bye-bye, guys.
And then you were director, right?
Mhm.
How was your experience being a director of a crew? What's your experience?
Honestly, in the beginning, it was very scary.
Mhm.
I just didn't know what to do, but I think Hannah and Maddie, like, I would just watch them a lot. I was very observant on RDT. Like, I loved all the directors I had, but at the same time, I would observe like the things that they would do that was beneficial to the team or what helped the team push, and the things that didn't, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm the perfect director. I'm sure people can come and talk and be like, oh yeah, Karen did this, Karen did that. No.
Yeah, like everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, directing, like it's to me it's very subjective. Like
Yeah.
you can't do it 100% perfect.
Of course.
There's gonna be people that are gonna be like, oh, I didn't
It's
like
a
this.
group of people.
Yeah.
Like everyone has different thoughts, different
Yeah.
vibes, and
Yeah, no,
lifestyles
yeah.
and whatever.
And different levels of passion for dance. Like, you know, but it was, I think at the time when I was officially like director, at that time it was like almost 40 people on the team.
Yeah, I remember that was a lot.
It was a lot.
Context, I was also a dancer. ¿Cómo se dice? Like
A member.
I remember
Mhm.
in the time she was director,
Mhm.
she was my director.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, you were there for the party set. Yeah.
Party.
We did Jersey Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was, I think, your
That was
last
my
one.
yeah. That was my last one. That's crazy.
And I was director before that set too, but it was more like I was in the shadows. Like I didn't really speak
there
up
was
as
like
much.
whole preparation.
Yeah,
stuff.
I was just
I
like
remember.
just there trying to observing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when I stepped up. And I think my prime as a director was when we did the spy set.
Elements.
Yeah, because that one meant a lot to me.
Okay.
Like that one, it wasn't my idea. I wasn't like straight up like we should do this, but I definitely took more reign on that.
Okay.
There's no head director on RDT. There's just like directors and
a team of people who work together to get a piece.
Yeah, but I definitely felt like I was, because I took in so much.
Okay.
And it was great. I genuinely will never forget that experience on RDT, how we felt on that stage, like on Elements, like crazy. I never felt anything like that in my life. Like I was like, yes, I love it. Woo. But it was difficult. It took a lot. It was very draining. At the time, I was also like at the lowest ever, the lowest point of my life. Yeah, it was very difficult. I was in school. I was in an unhealthy relationship. I wasn't taking care of myself. My anxiety, I developed anxiety. Wow. Like it was just bad. But it wasn't because of RDT. I think
you have a life also.
I had a life, and RDT like added more to that. You know, it wasn't strictly that, but it was a reason why I was down.
Okay.
But I loved it regardless. Like I still have so much love for RDT and for that set and for that group of people. But that's when I realized like I don't want to direct anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't anyone specific. It's a lot. And any director that you sit down,
it's just a responsibility.
It is.
And you know, it's not for everyone also.
Yeah.
And I think you have the option to choose what things you want to do and what you
don't. You know yourself the best. You know your limit, you know. And that's when once I got off that stage at Elements, I was like, this felt amazing. Like for real. It was a cherry on top for real. Like but no more. Like I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what things did you learn through that period? Mm-hmm. What things did you learn dance wise or for yourself from where you started to be director until you get off of the stage?
I think I realized that I'd rather be a student than a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. I think when you're a director, like no one's telling you critiques. Like you're the one telling people, do this, do that. You know, you can ask your co-directors, hey, critique me. But it's not it's like not the same, you know, because we're at the same level, you know, or the hierarchy on the team, you know. But yeah, I mean, I realized, well, it was kind of weird because I think at that moment, I was like, yeah, I want to be a student rather than a teacher. But then now that I am a teacher and a choreographer, I'm like, wait, but I do like being a teacher too. You know?
It's just like the
setting, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the setting of being like, oh, like I wouldn't like to take the responsibility of like, oh, how you feel during the daily basis. Why are you not doing this? It's just like, you know, I teach you for a certain period of time, and then
no, they're like bye bye.
Okay. And okay, now you say you're teaching, right? I know for a fact that you're teaching every week, or how does that work?
Bi-weekly. Yeah.
On Bodega?
No, the Hive.
Okay, the Hive, and also you're solving sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, how does, like, especially the Hive, for example, how this opportunity opens, or the door opens for you?
Oh my God. Man, I have a lot of love for the Hive. Like I said, like I started dancing there like 17. I grew a lot there. I think it's not much about like what doors will be open for me working there. It's just like more of a full circle moment for me, because like I said, I trained there. I learned a lot from Katrina, the owner herself there. I did her intensives. I took all her classes. Like literally every week I was dancing training with her. And then the same thing with Sam. Like Sam, he taught there too. He still teaches there, but I learned from him every week, and like I learned so much there. And yeah, it's not about like, oh, the doors that will be opening for me. Like I know like teaching there, like I guess I get more eyes on me.
Yeah.
But to me, like it's not about the opportunities. It's just more like, yo, like I made it. Like I trained here, and like I met people here, and I'm friends here with people, and I just am part of the community, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense totally, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you guys. Okay, and then how do you take the opportunity for yourself? Meaning you gotta like teach bi-weekly and be like, oh, I gotta create now like consistently, right? How do you approach the opportunity? You take it, of course, in a positive way, but also there's a pressure of like, oh,
being good all the time.
And also like, especially at the beginning, it's like, oh, am I a good teacher, or like, am I gonna be good enough? How did you like handle that like thoughts at the beginning, or even right now?
Man, I think when I first started teaching, it was almost a year ago. Like I made a piece. I know, like crazy, almost a year. Yeah, I think I taught actually maybe the end of summer, like in August. That's when I first taught at Bodega in New York. But I created So High, that piece, just to create it. Like not even like that pressure, like I'm gonna post it and people are gonna like it, and I'm gonna get followers and this and that. Like I didn't think that, wasn't even a thought in my brain. I literally just loved the song so much, made that choreo, posted it, and then people were like, yo, this is good, like I want to learn this, you know. And I'm like, oh shit, like I actually created something that people want to learn, you know. And then that's when the opportunities and doors started opening, like teaching at Bodega, taught a loiter sesh there. And then that's when like the owner, CJ, who's a good friend of mine, like he saw something in me, I guess, and was like, hey, do you want to sub this class? Do you want to pop up here? You know, that push, you know, because he believed in me. And also I think now that like I have my own slot, you know, obviously you get in your head, you're like, oh shit, I need to make something good. You know, I need to make something as good as So High, or I want to make people that look at my piece and be like, oh, I want to learn that, you know. But it gets very overwhelming, especially when I feel like I'm working on something and it's not clicking. I'm like, it doesn't feel good. It does not good enough. People are not going to like this. You know, I tend to take a step back and I'm like, okay, relax and remind yourself, like when you made So High, it wasn't for any of that. Like you are teaching now, of course it's your job, but you have to like stay true to that feeling of like doing it for yourself and doing it for the feeling, rather than like, oh, for the clout, for the video, so people can take my class. Like that's what I think to myself when I get overwhelmed. But I always say this in my classes, like don't apply pressure. Like we're so in our heads, especially as artists. Like literally,
tell me that you know that shit.
Yeah, like we're so in our heads, but it's because we apply that pressure to ourselves. You know, no one is gonna look at you and be like, Otto, you have to do this. You know, no one's creating that pressure for you. You're doing that for yourself. So I keep telling myself, don't create that pressure, Karen. No one's doing it for you. Like, yes, I have a little bit more eyes on me, and people kind of maybe. You know, you can like easily get in your head and be like, people have expectations of me. Like, but in reality, most people don't. Like, most people don't. Like, they genuinely, like, with a lot of love, don't give a fuck, like, about anyone but themselves. So, do you want to stay in your head of like, oh, I have to be good, I have to be up to your expectations, like this and that? Or do you just want to do it because it feels good to you and like you just love it so much?
Do it, like, be honest with your art.
people feel that, like, especially in New York. Like,
Yeah.
I look at someone, and this is no shade to anyone, but
No, but like,
I can look at someone and be like, you're dancing because of clout.
yeah.
You're dancing for attention, you know?
Mhm.
I look at someone else and I'm like, you're dancing because this is you.
Yeah.
You love it, you know?
Mhm.
It's something that a lot of dancers can get caught up on, especially because of social media, you know? Like
Yeah.
numbers, and like people want to feel validated.
Facts.
People
And
want
fast.
attention.
They don't want to
Yes.
wait.
No. So it's like, you just have to remind yourself, like, I'm doing this for me. And people feel that. And I think that's why people love taking my class, because the choreo feels good. Why? Because it feels good to me,
Yeah.
you know? And the way I'm teaching it is like, this is for you. Like, don't create that pressure for yourself. Community. Like, I'm very always vouching, like, my class, yes, it's a class.
It's a safe space.
It's a
basically.
safe space. Like, you're paying your money to be here. Like, make it
Right.
worth your while. Like, I'm not
Exactly.
trying to like collect your money and then that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just happen to get paid to be doing what I love,
Exactly.
you know?
You're like, you don't know that I will be doing this for free, but you're paying me.
Literally, I'm like, I would teach this for free, to be honest, but this is my job now.
You're like, woo! It's a
No,
win-win.
Yeah, no, like it's not about the money for me. But
Okay, great.
yeah, like I just did a pop-up the other day in New York, and it was like $10.
Yeah, I saw.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah, I guess so, but yeah, like to me it's not about like the numbers or the money or the clout or the video.
Yeah.
It's about what I feel.
Exactly.
And
But
if
I guess it also helps to back up your art.
mm,
Because, yeah, you can be being honest with yourself. But, like, for
Mhm.
example, if you do a pop-up and no one shows up,
mhm.
you're like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it also, like, helps to validate your honesty and be like, damn, bro, it feels good too.
Mhm.
Like, you know,
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah,
you're like, yeah.
it's a lot. Like I'm very grateful, you know. Like,
Yeah, and I can see that.
you're so grateful. Like, I write paragraphs all the time on Instagram, like, thank you, like, you know, but it's so genuine.
Yeah.
Like, I like thank you, because I had no expectation of this. And I
Oof.
think that's the beauty of it, you know,
Yeah.
like not creating those expectations. And I get asked, this is like just derailing
Yeah.
a lot, but I get asked a lot, like, what do you want to do in dance? Like, what is the
Yeah.
end goal? And I think people expect me to be like, get signed and like back
Okay.
up, you know, dance for like Doja Cat or
Or-
like Beyonce, you know? And there's nothing wrong with aiming for that.
No.
There's nothing wrong. Like, I will always support dancers that want that goal, you know, but it's not mine.
Yeah.
I don't have any sort of expectations. Like, I'm just kind of doing what I feel is right for me, and whatever opportunity comes to me, like, it's just meant for me.
Yeah.
So I'll take it, you know? But like, I don't have that goal of like, I want to get signed. But I'm not going to lie, if an agency was to, you know, email
you're
me,
gonna take the opportunity,
take
but
the
it's not
opportunity.
the main goal. It's nothing that you wake up and you're like, I gotta get signed.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
and I feel like people can feel it, and that's why people go to your class and even like I can see it through the videos. It's weird, but it's hard to explain.
No,
But I can see it. It's like for something like I feel like with like Sam Havy, I can see his videos and I'm like, yeah, bro, this is him. Like, and I know him for a little bit and I'm like, yeah, like I'm like, yeah, like it's honest.
He
like,
does it for himself.
Yeah,
You can
and-
tell. And same thing
yeah.
with Pauline. Like, they do it for themselves. Same thing with Rob.
Yeah.
Do it for themselves. Like, these people that are like these like high end, you know, top dog people in the industry, like, they're top dogs, yes, because they're training, they're working their ass off, but they're staying
honest,
true to who they are.
Yeah.
You know,
and
they're
that's
not
what makes them different.
Yes. And
Facts.
yeah, no, all three of them, like, they're all like inspos to me. Same thing with like Marley Hightower. I don't know if you know her.
No, not really.
She's from Florida. Same
Pass me the
thing.
Insta.
Yeah, I'll send you the Insta. She's also amazing too. I think my biggest inspo right now, like, very hip hop, very has her own studio in Florida, but it's just amazing. Like, she just makes sense, you know.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Mhm.
right? I always like to talk about mental health.
Mm.
I feel personally it's very important to talk about it and normalize it,
Mhm.
right? Rather than being like, you know, like, don't cry.
Don't
Right?
cry, y'all.
So I always ask this, like, have you have any type of mental health issues? And if you did, like, how you came along with it, or how are you coming along with it?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I went to therapy for it, depression. And then a year ago when I was directing RDC, that's when I developed anxiety.
Okay.
And I got put on medication for that actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really bad. But yeah, depression, anxiety, um, and what helped me obviously is getting help. There's nothing wrong with getting help, therapy, but also I think just doing stuff that made me feel like myself,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like with depression, especially depression, you don't feel like yourself, like you're self-aware. You're like, I know I feel down. I know there's something wrong with me, but like the chemicals in your brain are not allowing you to like
Break
be
that
yourself,
through.
like break through, like get out of bed and do what you're supposed to do, like take care of yourself, like, and it's not your fault. It's literally those chemicals in your brain. And whenever I'm in that state, like I dance. I put all of that energy into dance. Like, and then like I realized, like, holy shit, I love to dance. Holy shit, like I'm Karen. Like, holy shit, I love this. I love that. Like, it helps me push through. Also while going to therapy. But I think this is like the first time in my life where I actually don't feel like I'm suffering from any of that.
Wow.
Yeah, and it took so long, to finally get here. And I'm not saying I'll stay like this forever, like depression, anxiety, they come in waves. Like
Yeah.
in my brain, I tend to think of them like episodes. Like they come, but then but they go,
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the first time that I feel like I haven't suffered, haven't, gone to therapy. I'm going back only because I'm like, this feels a little too good, like why why I don't know. Like maybe I gotta find something to
But
work
also,
on.
yeah, but also
Mhm.
like you got a bent because
Mhm.
there's events that happen during the daily basis, and you're like,
Mhm.
yeah, bro, this is this and that happening, this,
Mhm.
and then traffic and
Mhm.
whatever, right? To
Mhm.
get stuff out also, to not be like,
Yeah.
and then,
Yes.
right? So it's good
Yes.
too that you like also try to prevent things from happening.
Mhm.
Um, did like your mental health state affected the your relationship with dance in a way?
Um Never.
Wow.
Never, never, never. I think because like I said, like that was the one of the outlets that I like was like letting me, express myself and feel like myself again. And I think it's funny because I think after there's a lot of things I want in my life, but I
Yeah.
think um after like my breakups, like that's when I would push into dance because obviously you're upset, and like you
Yeah.
want to be
It's like going to the
outside.
gym.
Yeah, no, it's like going to the gym. You're like trying to work out after the breakup, you have that motivation.
Yeah.
Like that was my
That spark.
motivation to dance. Yeah.
Wow.
And especially like when I left RDT, like I was still in a
Yeah.
really weird head.
Spot.
Yes, like my life was during when I was directing RNT, I think that was just like I said, the worst time mentally for me. Not because of them, just making that clear. Not because of them. It's just
No,
the
of
things in my
course. And I
life.
think like people who actually listen to the podcast will
We'll understand
understand.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I broke up with RET,
Mm-hmm.
basically, I put that's when I started going to New York more and branching out, taking
Yeah.
way like I was taking class every week, just to feel like myself again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that hard work, not even hard work, it wasn't even hard work. It was just me doing shit for myself.
Yeah.
That's when like the results started coming in. I was
Exactly.
like, oh, like I was killing two birds with one stone, like
Facts.
I was healing myself, but also training, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, like
That was super beneficial, I guess.
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
like from a third person view,
Mm-hmm.
like I think also it was like beneficial for you like leaving RDT,
Mm-hmm.
and not because of RDT again.
Yeah.
It was just because you were able to focus more on the things that you like feel good for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I can literally like like we don't like talk that often,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like she left RDT in a poof. I'm like, yo. So like, and I'm like super happy to see your growth and everything. You know,
Thank
like
you.
I'm very proud of you because I know you for a little bit. We haven't been that close, but I can even like tell the way you say hi is different now.
Oh my
Right?
God. Thank you.
Even like having a regular conversation with you feels different. Before it was like, hi.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, hey, hi, I'm Karen. I'm like, yes, let's get it. Right? And I can literally feel that, right? Just getting in the last part of the conversation, right? I have this question like Q&A like section wherever we have like short, we can say like short questions, but you don't have to give a short answer.
Okay.
Right? Good?
Okay.
Okay, good. Name a song that you play whenever you're happy right now.
Oh my God. Songs. Probably a Doja Cat song, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, she makes me feel good. She makes me feel like a bad bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
A song that you will play to feel productive.
Ooh, probably like some lo-fi music,
Okay.
instrumental music. I also listen to orchestra music. It's fucking weird.
But you do, so.
Yeah, I used to play the violin when I was younger. I had to stop because like
You're like, I had to stop.
I had to stop. I loved it so much. It was like the best thing. This was the first time I was like, "Ooh, this is cool."
Okay.
Like, but the school that I was in, they didn't have enough money to fund the orchestra, so they had to cut it. And I was so
pissed.
sad. Like I was like,
imagine we just missed the best violin player of the fucking history.
Low-key, I thought I was that good. Like I played her every day. I took her home every day. I was on YouTube searching up the covers.
Shit.
Like I genuinely think I was so good. And then they ripped that away from me.
Wow.
So I'm like, yo, I could have been a violinist, to be honest. I don't know what dance is. I would have been a violinist.
Well, whenever you want to do something different or you want to go back to your roots. I will pick
up that violin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, name a song whenever you're sad.
Ooh, anything Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Oh my God.
Like right here.
Oh my God. There's like, I just saw a TikTok, or not TikTok, Instagram reel. Like in Paris, they have like this immersive like room. So it's like projectors everywhere. And like you're sitting in the dark and they're like playing stuff on the like the walls, but they play Frank Ocean music. Oh my God. I would have sobbed. Anything Frank. I love Frank. Amazing. 10 out of 10.
Okay, good. Can you share a mistake or failure that ultimately led to a positive outcome or growth?
Oh my God. This feels like a job interview. Like, like in job interviews, they ask you like, when have you messed up? And then how did you,
like, wait, why do you need this job? You're like, because I'm broke, but I cannot say that. Yeah. Because I feel like
yeah, no, literally. That question reminds me. Like, I swear I got that question at a job interview before.
Okay.
But a mistake, I don't know. I make a lot of mistakes.
Like everyone else.
Yeah. I can't think of one, though, to be honest.
Okay, but don't worry.
I'm just perfect. I never actually make mistakes, to be honest.
Okay. What's been on your mind lately?
I gotta get shit done.
Okay.
I got shit to do. I got a lot of shit to do. Summer's gonna be real busy. That's what's been in my mind.
Okay. Okay, what's something that always brings a smile to your face?
Probably seeing cats. I love cats. I don't have a cat though.
Okay. That's being responsible, I guess, because you cannot take care of it.
I can't, and I can't. I'm barely home, so can't take a cat. But I like cats. Also spending time with my boyfriend, Danny. Shout out to Danny.
Like, look at that cat.
Shout out to Danny. But I mean, boyfriend, and also like spending time with my friends.
Okay, nice. Are there any personal development goals you're currently working on?
Yeah. I'm trying to. Well, this is like more of like an artistic goal, I guess you could say, but I'm trying to get a visual out.
Okay.
And she's in the works. It's gonna take a while. I'm taking my time with this.
Okay.
But I just got like the crew together, so that's the goal right now. Like
Okay,
my
nice.
personal development is that I want to make it good. I want to make it fun. I want to make it me, and I want it to just look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Like everything you do. Like, okay. Like, what qualities do you value most in the people you choose to spend time with?
Qualities. I like when people, like when my friends or like when my boyfriend, like they make me laugh. I love laughing. Like it's just like such a nice time. Like it's just like make me laugh and I make you laugh.
Okay.
Also I guess like loyalty.
Okay.
Loyalty. I'm really big on loyalty. Like if one of my friends is like, I don't fuck with that girl, I'm like, I don't fuck with her either. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, I making me laugh, loyalty, and someone that's just genuine who doesn't try to be, anyone else.
Yeah.
They're just themselves, and I can feel that they're not like trying to be fake. It's very easy to meet people that are like fake.
Fake.
Yeah, fake. You're like,
And you can feel the energy though.
yeah, I'm very like I feel
Are
like
you good at reading people?
yes. Like I
Mm.
pride myself in that. That's one thing I'll do right. Like I can read people like crazy. Maybe that's a little cocky to say,
Now you're good.
but yes. And I think when I left RDT, like I really try to make it like I was leaving everything behind type
Yeah.
shit. And from that moment on, I remember promising myself like I have to be really picky with who I let
you
in my
wanna
circle
surround.
and who is my
It's
friend.
very important.
Yes.
Very
There's a lot of
important.
acquaintances, like a lot of acquaintances,
but like the circle, the people who are actually in your daily
yes.
basis is very important.
Yes, very, very important. And any like wrongdoing, if I feel like, oh, that was off from them, I'm done.
Okay.
Like I don't play no more because I'm like
You got no time to spare.
I don't have time to spare, and I feel like it's that thing where we were talking about earlier. Like
Yeah.
you have empathy for others and you understand them, but not too much because they will step all over you. And like what you were saying, like they'll call you randomly and be like, "Hey, do this for me." And you're like,
Yeah.
it's 2 a.m.
Hello.
Yeah, like hello, how am I doing?
Facts. There are people they don't even like. That's what.
Mm-mm.
But I think it's. I was talking to someone in Brick House, and I was like, "Yo," because she was from Morocco, and I was like, "Did you have this like issue whenever you got here that like people here they don't really like ask like, hey, how are you? I hope you're well or something like that." And then the thing they need in a text is like, it's like if I call you and like text you, I'm like, "Yo, what's up? What you doing today?" I'm like, "Yo, we're not that close. Can we just like at least be polite and ask like how I am or whatever?"
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, she said yes. I was like, okay, so it's not me then. Okay,
Yeah.
let me put you in a weird spot. You say you're good at reading people.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you read about me?
Oh.
Okay, let me see if you're right or not.
I think you're just trying your best.
Okay.
I think you're trying your best to put yourself out there.
Okay.
Because I think, I mean, you and I've talked before, you're coming into this country
Mm-hmm.
pursuing dance,
Yeah.
which is a really, really hard career to pursue in America. Very competitive. But I think you're trying your best, and I think it's working. I think for a little while, like you said, you were in a slump, and you were like, like I don't know about dance because people that this is their hobby, they're like good,
Yeah.
But I think now I see that you're like in Brick House and stuff. I think
Mhm.
right now you have some sort of like push or like adrenaline in you to like be like, nah, like it's time to lock in.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to do
It's
this.
time.
And
Mhm.
I think maybe I didn't know you when you first came to this country.
Yeah.
But I think I knew you around that time.
Yeah, around that time.
And I think in the beginning you were trying to just learn how like navigating through this like country, it's
Yeah.
very different from Honduras,
Yeah,
trying to
very.
read people and being like, oh, like that's different,
Mhm.
but I think now you have a better gist of it. You lived
Okay.
here for so long. You met different people, different kinds of people,
Mhm.
been in different dance spaces, and I think you're just in this stage right now that's just like observing, and being like, okay, this is what I can do and this is what I can't do.
Mhm.
That's what I think of you.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're right. You're like, I'm like, book her for an appointment.
I'm like, if you want a reading, let me know.
Okay, good. I'm good reading people also.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel that I have that like I don't know, sense or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more about like, oh yeah, you have like you're this type of person. I don't want to be
Yeah.
around this type of person.
And
or
that's
whatever.
okay.
Yeah, bro. Like
Yeah, protect your peace.
bro, I'm so like
Protect
like,
your peace.
the only problems I have is with myself. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. What's the worst advice someone told you?
The worst advice.
Yeah, the worst advice that you can remember, of course. It can be like personal or artistically, however you want to.
Ooh. This is so funny. But I think on RDT when I was still I was training.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe second year in RDT. Like I was still very new. And I'm still trying to figure out what I liked, what my style was, like, and in dance there's that mask style and there's that femme style,
Yeah.
and I remember trying to tap into that femme.
Yep.
And I was in a conversation with two other girls. I'm not gonna name them.
Of course.
Two other girls. They were on RDT, and at this time, Isabel Capps, she was coming to New York, and she was teaching that piece, Ass Like That. It was a very femme piece, like the shaking ass, right? And one of them goes, "Oh my God, like I want to take Isabel's class."
Okay.
Like, and I'm like, "Oh my God, like I want to do that too. Like I love that piece, like I'm trying to tap into that."
Mm-hmm.
And the other girl's like, "Oh, don't do femme. You're not good at femme. You're
Okay.
like," she like immediately was like, "Don't do it. You're not good. You're not good enough."
Shit.
And I was like, and I don't know why I listened. Like, I was like, because at that time, like anyone on that team could have been like, "Fix your arms." I'm like, "Okay, I'll fix it."
Okay.
Like,
you were
bend your
in that
knees.
like
I was a sponge.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
a
Absorbing.
sponge. Yes.
And you were like, okay, it's for my better. It's for the better.
And at that time, she was also very femme. She was very into like, femme choreography, femme style.
Okay.
So someone that I was like, "You are good at femme," telling me don't do femme.
Like,
okay.
You're like, okay.
I'm like, okay, I won't do it.
Okay.
I didn't think twice,
Mm-hmm.
But then as I was like, I was always avoiding it too. Like in RDT, like they would do like the femme stuff, the femme choreo, and I wouldn't even try. Like, like in RDT, we would have those auditions for like the pieces. And like literally the times that it was a femme piece, I wouldn't even try because I was like, I know I'm not good enough. Like I know I'm not going to do it well.
Okay.
And I think that was probably the worst advice, telling me not to do femme. Now I do it because I'm like, holy shit, like, I don't think you were nice with that, But
also, if you like it, bro. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the best advice someone told you?
Oh, probably from Sam.
Okay.
Sam Javi. He, at the time, like I said, I was training at the Hive every week, learning from him, learning from Katrina, learning from other choreographers. And I was so bad at retention, like picking up choreo.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling so defeated because I was like, I just want one class where I can pick up the choreo from beginning to end. That's it. Not even if I do it well, I just want to pick up the choreo.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like on the floor, like waiting for his class to start. And he's like, "Hey, like, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, Sam," I'm like defeated as fuck. Like, I'm like,
can tell probably.
Yeah. And
like, what's up?
I would always mess up in his class. Like, I already had this mentality that I was going to mess up in his class.
Okay.
Because I think I took Katrina's or someone's before his.
Okay.
And so I'm like, "Hey, Sam, whatever." He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you like remember choreo? Because I can't remember choreo and it's like starting to hurt my feelings now." And then he was like, "Yo, like dance is 50% mental, 50% physical." So he's like, "So you sitting on the floor right now being like, you're not going to get it. Like you forget choreos. Like that's your brain telling you you're not going to do it. And what are you going to do when the groups go on? Like you're going to forget it. So if you walk into a class being like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to remember all the choreo. I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do my arms. Like your body's going to do that." And I kid you not, I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "So it is mental. So if I'm over here like being like, oh, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it."
Exactly.
So that class was the first class I'll never forget that I actually got the choreo.
Wow.
And I was like, and from that moment on, like every single time, like I'm in a group, like I get to elect, or like I'm just practicing it. I always tell myself like I'm gonna get it. I remember it. Trust yourself. You know the choreo, and it works.
Clicks.
It works.
Wow.
Like it's not physical always. Like it's also mental.
Okay. What is manifestation for you?
Manifestation is like it's something that you want. Like it's something that you're like, oh,
Very good. You're like,
but yeah, it's just something that like dreams, like,
okay.
and you just tell yourself like I'm gonna get it. Like that's manifesting. Like if I'm like, oh, today, like for example, I'm taking a class after this, like, and selects aren't that important to me, but I'm just using this as an example. But
Yeah.
if I'm like, today I really, really want to get select, I'm gonna get a solo, like, and I just like start putting energy into that thought and like visualizing it in my head, and it happens, like that's manifestation to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. We're getting to the last part, like literally the last part of the
Slay.
conversation.
Slay.
So I usually give gifts to my
Oh.
guests,
Uh-huh.
right? As I always say, give me a second. As I always say, if like people who actually end up the podcast, which are not that many, because I know like there's long conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the theme of this podcast is actually to know the person behind, you know, what we see and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes time.
Mm.
So like if someone doesn't really want to take that time to listen
Yeah.
to a long conversation, probably this podcast is not for you.
Mm.
Then you have the clips, right? Good. But it's I call it the Soul Rojo experience, right? Where here we talked about who Karen Vanessa Juarez is,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your background.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
right? The things you learn through your journey
Mm-hmm.
with Kevin, right? Who's autistic,
Mm-hmm.
right? Good things, bad things, you know, but you had to pull your shit together and be like, you know, I gotta be the responsible now,
Yeah.
right? Being part of having a good relationship with your dad, and also having your, you know, little ups and downs with your mom,
Yeah.
right? But also remembering that you have a good support system, right? With your ups and downs, good and bad times, toxic and not toxic relationships, right? And also your love and passion with dance, how you approach life, in your basically your journey, right? How
Yeah.
you came to be this unsecure girl that needs approval from persons, and now we see in this conversation that we see a different type of Karen that is like, yo, I don't need like approval.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone to be like, hey, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's nice to know this side of Karen, because people who know you now and they're gonna for sure know you in the future, they'll be like, yo, she's dope, and like she's having success in teaching in New York and New Jersey. She's throwing visuals now every week, right? But it's very important to know who you are, right? I know you have a very close relationship with your family, but most important, you have a close relationship with yourself, right? So in this case, we as a podcast production team, we like to
Ruby.
really we actually like to give gifts that are significant, that are always gonna be there for you, right? In this case, we know that you like photography, so I think this is a good gift, so you can take everything around, right? In this case, we have the first gift, right?
Oh my god.
Good.
Oh.
So
Oh
yeah,
my
you're
god,
gonna
my
see.
fucking parents.
So in
What?
this case, we can see like all the sections or different sides that we have from Karen, right? Uh, Dancing, of
Yes.
course,
Uh-huh.
photography, good. Your little
Yes, my dog.
right, good.
Yes.
Little self also, good. And
Yeah.
your parents,
What the
which
heck?
we know they're very important for you right now. I mean, all the time, right? And just don't forget, like they're always gonna be there for you, right? Even though you had to have like this hard conversations with them and actually teach them as they're like our childs,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember they were always there for you, and I for sure know that you understand that they did the best
Yeah.
that they could for
Mm-hmm.
Kevin and Karen,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is for you,
Oh
right?
my
So you can have
God.
it.
Thank
Good.
you.
So
Cute.
whenever, I guess I like to say this all the time, right? Whenever you have this like tough times
Mm-hmm.
where, right now we're like feeling good or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
um, really like go to that picture
Mm-hmm.
and see all the things that you actually do because you're like super talented.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
and you have so different layers
Mm.
that really people they don't know, but But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we gotta remind ourselves and be like, hey, it's true. Like I'm all of this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
whenever you feel that time like that, like that, just
Mm-hmm.
go back to the picture and be
Mm.
like, right? There's
Yeah.
also a pocket version, like a wallet version.
Oh
So if
my
you want to cut
God.
it, put it in your car, put it in your cell phone, whatever, right?
Yes.
Just to finish it, last gift, right?
Oh my God. Getting spoiled.
Um, so we talked about yourself, childhood, parents,
Mm-hmm.
uh, brother, being a mom, basically from like
Literally.
good, and
Mm-hmm.
all this experiences that make you who you are
Mm-hmm.
today, right? And we talked about empathy a lot, and I know you're very empathetic and you like to help people a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but also I feel it's very important to not forget the most important person in your life,
Mm-hmm.
which is yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Never forget who you are, why you do whatever you do
Mm-hmm.
in life,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for a reason. So I would like you to, every time you have like like a very, very tough time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you feel like you going back to, oh, I need approval, or I need like this type of expectation for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or ever if you like come to a path that you start doing things that are not right for yourself, that they don't really go with your values or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever you feel you want to give up,
Mm.
right? Just go back to little Karen,
Oh my
right?
goodness. Oh
And
my
so you can
God.
see who she really is,
Uh-huh.
which is someone who doesn't, she didn't know about any type of expectation. She was just a
No.
little girl trying to figure things
Mm-hmm.
out, adventurous, like loving art,
Yeah.
photography, not knowing why everyone was like, why are you different, and feeling weird.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't know about any type of things that we as adults we actually like think about,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So every time you feel like you're going out of your own self.
Mm.
Yes, you have dance. Yes, you have your parents. Yeah, you have your
Mm-hmm.
friends. You have your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let her down. Never.
Aw.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank
This for
you.
you.
Oh my
And wallet
God.
version
Oh my
also.
God.
Good. um, so this is the two last questions, and I
Uh-huh.
always have my guests answer the question looking at the second gift that I gave you.
Second, okay.
Okay, good. So just you don't have to look at me or whatever. Just look at the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like you to uh, tell yourself if you can go back in time, and talk to your younger self.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to hear?
She's so cute, first of all. I was such a cute little child. But
Yes.
I think literally short and simple, like you're gonna be fine. Like she's gonna be fine. And I think in the moment, like it's gonna seem like the end of the world, but like it's not. I think greater things always come after it, after anything that breaks her heart or anything. But yeah, no, she's gonna be okay, and I'm doing fine. Like I'm doing her good for real. And I'm proud of her.
Good.
Yeah.
And same thing. What would you like to tell if you have the opportunity to talk to 80-year-old or 90-year-old Karen?
Oh my
What would you
God.
like to ask?
Um, I don't think I would ask anything. Like I said, I don't want to have any expectations. Like I'm like I'll just meet you there. I'll meet you there,
Nice.
and we'll look back and see, you know, all the things that happened in my life. But I don't think I would have any questions. Just letting life guide me where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last but not least, how would you like to be remembered?
Um, I think that that Karen didn't give a fuck. Like she was just her. Like she didn't do anything for anyone. Like she just did shit for herself. And for her pleasure, for her heart, for her mind, for her soul. Like I always say it. Like and I sound like a broken record, but for real, like just she just didn't give a fuck. She did shit for herself and it shows.
It shows a lot.
Mhm.
Karen, thank you so much for
Ah.
being part of the podcast, for being part of the experience. Right?
Thank you for having
Of
me.
course, of
Yeah, this was
course.
nice.
Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did.
Yeah, I did.
Good. I think
Mhm.
it's a conversation that is gonna help some people, right? If they actually hear
Hopefully.
the podcast. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like that's
Mhm.
the point of the podcast. Like
Mhm.
it's to actually know more layers about any type of people. Like right now, I'm bringing a lot of dancers because that's the people I know
Mhm.
about. Like to have conversations with like construction workers,
Mhm.
cleaning ladies and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
like because they also have a story,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's nice for people to know their
Mm.
story that not everything is nice. Feel me?
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know if there's anything that you would like to add or a question that I didn't ask that you would like to be asked. Nice. Now is the moment.
No, I think it was a good conversation. I think um everything was covered. Um yeah, I feel good. I feel
Positive.
positive. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Again, thank you so much for your time. I highly, highly, highly appreciate. Right. And
Yeah.
if you
Uh-huh.
actually made it to the end of this conversation, right? Please, I hope you enjoyed the time as much as I did. Right. Please like and share.
Mhm.
Please, right?
Mhm.
Comment, what was your favorite part of the conversation? Or if you also live with no expectations or you have a lot of expectations, right? This was the podcast So Rojo, and I forgot the intro. So I was gonna say, welcome to the podcast of your soul, and welcome to the favorite podcast of in your house and in your heart, baby. Yeah, I forgot to say that. Good. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Bye. Woo! The clapping.
Like, yeah.